Remember this song? Eating animals is wrong, KFC. Hurting animals is wrong, KFC. Share this song and change your entire menu to be vegan from now on. Yeah. And there was the McDonald's version. So, hey, every bit helps. I don't know whether when I sang outside of McDonald's and 22 million people saw that video, or when I sang outside of KFC and I don't know how many millions of people saw that one too, whether it made a difference. But I am told, I heard that it went right up to these CEOs and that they knew about it. So they were aware that a middle-aged woman is saying, yes, this is what we want going forward. Every bit that we do as animal rights activists does help. Because just the fact that I did that and millions of people saw it, who knows what other kind of activism that spurred. Maybe other people also thought, I should go and talk to McDonald's too, and maybe different employees did. We don't know. The point is, though, that you should never, ever stop doing activism. It's so important to do outreach, to speak our minds. Let everybody know that we're vegan animal rights activists. Let every restaurant know that we want more vegan options in the menus. Let every hospital know that there should be only vegan foods served in hospitals and in schools. Everywhere we go. Of course, we also need to talk about the animals all the time, so we have to attack it from all ways. Some animal rights activists really seem to care about more issues. They consider them to be more important, or they're more their target than others. But as long as everybody is working towards an anti-speciesist world, that's the best that we can hope for, right? So let's say your thing is that you like to go and challenge people who wear fur and talk about that and say, you shouldn't be wearing Canada Goose because the fur, that trim that's on there comes from a poor coyote who had her paw trapped and was crying and trying to get back to her pups. So sad, trying to chew off her own paw just to get home to her pups who needed her milk. You can say that to people who wear Canada Goose coats. You can say, look, these coats come from a cycle of violence. I mean, they are no different than dogs, these poor coyotes who get trapped there. And we all know dogs. Everybody pretty much knows a dog that they think is pretty cute. And you can understand that they feel pain, right? So then maybe that's your thing. You want to target people that wear fur trim just as a decoration. I mean, it's pretty horrific to buy a coat and to murder an animal just for a decoration. It's horrendous. So maybe that's your thing you want to target more. Of course, you can target everything. Maybe others want to go from restaurant to restaurant and just say, what have you got here to eat that's vegan? And we want more vegan options. You should always ask that. Another thing you can do is go to any restaurant, even if you know they have no vegan things behind the counter or wherever you are. You can just say, tell me about your vegan options. You just say it like that. As long as people keep hearing the word, you normalize it. That of course it's normal that there should be vegan things. That's just normal. That should be the attitude. I'm just turning this off here. And so this is really great news. I hope that you guys are also will let me know in the comments, what kind of things are you doing? What is your favorite form of activism? You can do, if you're a student, you can do school projects about this type of thing. There's always a way to talk about the animals. You can do research about animal exploitation, about animal testing. Maybe your thing is that you want to promote cruelty-free makeup or something like that, or toothpaste or whatever it is. Maybe your main thing is that you want to talk about the animals that are in the SPCAs right now, that are in shelters. Maybe your thing is that your dream is to buy a small piece of land and to take in some animals and have a sanctuary there where you can take chickens, pigs, cows who have been injured, have fallen off trucks or whatever, and they have nowhere to go. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe you want to be a foster parent for cats or dogs. That's great too. But of course, we have to remember, if you are watching and you're not vegan yet, just think about the hypocrisy of taking care of animals in a shelter and, thinking that you're so great because you're fostering a cat or a dog, but then at the same time paying somebody to stab other animals that are going to end up on your plate. It doesn't make sense. You know it doesn't make sense. I mean, the worst of it once I saw was an SPCA that was having a barbecue outside to raise money for the shelter. And the barbecue was literally dead animals on it to raise money for the other animals in the shelter. How does that make sense? Always think about the animals and the planet. If you're at school and you are having a fundraiser, a bake sale, let's say, try to convince everybody to make only vegan food snacks. Cookies, cakes, everything. I mean, why should there be eggs and milk in there? First of all, people are allergic to them. And so it's easier if everything is vegan. But that's not really, again, our issue, right? Because veganism isn't about food. It's about the animals. And so if you tell everybody that it's a good idea, we're going to experiment with vegan recipes, you're going to Google the best cookies, the best cakes, best carrot cake, whatever it is, and you're going to make amazing vegan things. And you can say, vegan fundraiser, vegan bake sale. And these are other things that you can do also to think about. If you're bringing ever a snack into school for your friends, it's a birthday party, and you're making cupcakes, why not try to make vegan versions? And tell everybody, be proud of it. Say, these cupcakes are all vegan. Instead of using eggs, I used a bit of banana and a little bit of flaxseed to make an egg-like product that makes everything stick together. Right? Can you think of some other examples? What about if you're going and you're buying a sweater for yourself? You're looking at the label. Are you going to buy something that has wool in it? Well, a lot of people think that wool is okay. They think, well, the sheep are just shaved. But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way anymore. There are these massive places that treat these poor sheep like, it's heartbreaking for me. I've seen so many videos of it. They treat them like an object. They slam them down and they're trying to shave them as quickly as possible. The poor sheep are shaking everywhere and they're bleeding. And then do you know how they breed the sheep? They literally have this rape rack that they put them in. They put them in this thing and they tie their arms and legs down. They flip them over and they forcefully insert sperm into them. And they keep them, I mean, it's because they want to manipulate them. They want them to be able to grow, whatever breed it is. They want them to grow into something that they're going to eat. I mean, these are animals. They're not food. Or they want to grow them and manipulate them to grow lots and lots of wool. It's not right. What if your school is going to be going to on a field trip somewhere, and then somebody says, oh, let's go to the zoo? Can you think of a reason why you should not be going to the zoo? Because it's like a prison, right? You see, there's a difference between a zoo and a sanctuary. A sanctuary is where animals go to protect them. A zoo is where animals go to make money from them. It's not okay. And zoos will do all kinds of things to try to tell you that, well, we're saving animals, we're preserving animals, and that's why we had to ship in these lions all the way from Africa to be here in the middle of Toronto or whatever. No. There's never a reason to put an animal on an airplane. It's always a bad decision. What about if you know somebody who's riding horses? You're going to say, well, horses, isn't that okay? I mean, people who have their horses really love their horses. But you are breaking their spirit. They don't want you on their back. They want to be free. And then so you just treat them this way, and you treat them like an object, and you break them into, you feed them, and you only if they're doing the thing right, and you reward, you smack them if they're doing it wrong, and then you break their spirit to the point where they're just obedient because they just give up completely. And then you start riding them, and they're riding because they're happy to move, but they don't want you on their back. That's just what you think, but it's not true. They want to be free. They don't want a metal bit in their mouth that controls them. How horrible is that? So, we want a better world. So, whatever way you're doing your activism, whether you are singing somewhere with your ukulele, writing songs, singing with your friends, whether you're wearing shirts that have a message on them, whatever it is you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Never stop. I want to encourage you also as far as having shirts like this go. Just think about it. If you have a choice between having a shirt that says the word bench, which is a brand name, or Gap or Adidas or something, what does that tell the world about you? What message do you think that gives? What makes you want to buy that kind of shirt? Like, I think about it. I think I was 16 and we went on a field trip to New York, and I bought a t-shirt that said "I love New York" on it. And I just felt like so great with this "I love New York" shirt on it. And if I look back now, I don't really know why I wanted that shirt, why I felt so good about it. Have a shirt with some writing on it was sort of a big thing. I didn't have that much money as a kid. And then it was just like, but what did I love about New York exactly? I mean, it was a fun trip. It was fun being with my friends. But what is New York? New York is a bunch of buildings. It's a bunch of traffic. It's a bunch of stop signs and sidewalks, shopping malls. Like, yeah, they have a park there. Why would I say I love New York? If I could go back, if somebody had said this to me, if somebody had sat me down and said, "Hey, Kadie, why don't you become an animal rights activist and talk about the animals on your shirt, or have anything to do with the word vegan?" You know, I have all kinds of different shirts that say "vegan from now on," or "be kind to the animals," things like that. Think about wearing something that actually reflects who you are. Are you a shallow person who just wants to wear something with a brand name by a company that exploits kids who working in factories? I mean, you know, it's difficult. I know we're not all perfect, but you can. I have bought lots of different shirts at a secondhand store and then just sort of painted over them by just blotting a Kleenex into some paint, just blot over the whatever the logo is, and then just, you know, do something else and write something else on top of it. If you can hear, that's my dog Bella. She just got off the couch. She's lying on the floor. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who has been doing activism. Keep up the great work. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. And if you haven't yet written to TikTok to try to get them to have my account back, that would be a nice thing to do, because I would really like to have that account back. 1.7 million followers, and when it was taken down, that was 11 months of memories, over 2,700 videos. You know, I filmed everywhere that I went. There's lots of videos of my dog there. There's lots of videos of me on vacation, little chipmunks that I filmed, and so it's pretty sad that that's gone. And yeah. So I would like to have that account back. So anybody who could help, I would really appreciate it. Apparently you're supposed to write a few times a day and it's going to make a difference, but I don't know. I haven't heard anything from them. I don't really know why I was banned. I just want to explain one little thing though. Because I had so many videos, what happened is when people went into the account, they started doing is reporting videos that I had done a long time ago. I mean, I said this before, but they literally would report anything. You guys are watching, you know who you are. There would be a video of, let's say, my dog Bella, and they would report it for nudity. There's no nudity. Or I would film myself eating a strawberry or something, and they would say graphic violence. So they would report anything. When we have enough bad people in the world to do that, then TikTok is just like, oh, what's going on? So they kept, you know, they didn't have time to go through all these videos. So I didn't have time to respond to them all. I'm just one person against like millions of people who were reporting my videos. I mean, I didn't stand a chance. Not there. Of course, TikTok took me down. And because they just, at one point, I guess, said, well, it's just too many complaints, or I don't know. A lot of people had made fake accounts and pretended that I said things that I never did. I never was responsible for hurting anybody. Somebody said that somebody's sister's brother, whatever, died because they've been vegan, and nobody dies from being vegan, from eating plants. They just don't. I've never told anybody how to eat or what to eat. I said, go and see your healthcare professional, go see your doctors, nurses, vegan dietitians, and so on. Somebody said apparently that I had spread, there was a video that someone had put together, or they thought it was somebody that looked like me who took their feces and was spreading it all over a restaurant wall or something. And people think that was me. Another person went and said that I broke 8 or 9 Canadian laws. That wasn't me. I never did any of that. People said that I was in jail. I was never in jail. But can you imagine what it would be like to have your name slandered so much just because people feel so guilty eating the animals that they are, and then they just point at the messenger and they just want to shut her up. But you can't shut up the truth. The truth does come out. And thanks to good animal rights activists, we're still out there. We need to do a better job at uniting, though, because people often think, I've noticed that when there's certain groups, somebody says, well, I don't really like the way you do that, so I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to do this thing over here. All the activism is good, but it would be much better if everybody could work together and praise each other's work. So again, there's my subscribe button. Please press subscribe and the little bell so that we can hang out together, get to know each other. If you have a channel that you want me to follow or you want me to do a review of or anything, any way I can help, I'm really open to helping any animal rights activist. So please let me know. Bye for now.